Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Endeavor Deep Sea, which is going to be a game published by Burnt Island Games and Grain Gamer Guild. This is a 1 to 5 player game in which you're going to be exploring the oceans. You're going to be going to dive its depths, trying to do different forms of research, trying to find new discoveries, trying to do different conservative efforts, and trying to get the most points by the end of the game. This game here has a competitive, cooperative, and solo mode to it. When we go down the table, I'm going to give you a general idea how to play the game. These all, what I explain is going to come into effect in any of these modes, but it's in the spirit of teaching the cooperative mode, just so you know that. Also, I have the deluxe version, which is amazing. So keep that in mind when you look at the components when I'm explaining things. But after that, we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. All right, so this is Endeavor Deep Sea. Your goal in Endeavor Deep Sea is to have the most beneficial impact on the world's ocean, from the teeming shallows to the mysterious depths. In each of the scenarios, you will score points mostly by increasing attributes, reputation, inspiration, coordination, and ingenuity, which are going to be on your track. So this is going to be the first part of your track here. That's going to be your reputation, inspiration, coordination, and ingenuity. You're going to be using these to have more actions on your turn, to have more ships to move around, to retrieve more discs, all sorts of different mechanisms throughout the game. So how do we play this game and what is your goal? Well, your goal in this game is going to be trying to collect the most points. And there's multiple ways that you're going to be getting your points in this game. Some of them are going to come from moving up your tracks here. And you can see here on these tracks that there are points on the top. And if you can make your marker to that location by the end of the game, you're going to get the points. So if we're looking at this track here, if any of the tracks make it up to this point, you get 2 points, 4 points, 7 points, and then 10 points. And that's going to be per track. So you can get up to 40 points just on your board here alone. Other ways that you can gain points in the game is by recruiting specialists throughout the game. And there's this giant track of specialists throughout the game. The main ones you're going to be looking for are going to be the specialists on the far end of the track, the hardest specialists to get. If you can upgrade these by the end of the game, they have end game scoring. So that is another way that you're going to gain points at the end of the game. The other way is going to be picking up some of these journals. Some of these journals will give you end game scoring. If they give you end game scoring, they'll say so on there, like this will give you 1 point at the end of the game. So you can get them from journals. You can get them from the mission goals, which are over here. I'll explain those in a second. Or you can get them from your impact board by putting impact tokens on there that each player has a good amount on here. And if you can make it into this yellow area, you'll get 1 point per yellow area. If you make it into the orange areas, you'll get 2 points per token that you have in that area. So that's your goals. Those are what you're trying to aim for, and these are the points you're going to be trying to get. Now, for setup of the game, which I'm not going to really get into setup, I'm just going to briefly explain that you have 10 different missions you can pick from in this game, and these are double-sided. So you get a good bit of different missions that you can pick to play the game. And these missions are replayable. The difficulty goes up through them, so you're just going to play whatever you're comfortable at. And that brings up something. All these missions, they can be played multiplayer, solo, or even cooperative. I'm just going to briefly go over how you're going to take your turns, but that basically applies to anything. So you'll get a general idea just how you play the game. I'm not really going to get into all the rules, but know that you have your setup determined by your mission. You're going to have your impact boards going to be different on each one, so how you can get to your 2 and 1 point sections, or some of them even might have more, and what your bonuses are for going to these. Then your goals that you can score points for end game are going to be in here. Most of these have to do with places you're on your track or things you've collected. This one happens to have bonuses for journals. So you're looking at trying to be the most for that. Have the most sonar actions and have the most conserve tokens on the board too. So those are other bonus goals that you're going to go for in the game. This game is going to go over 6 rounds. So you're going to be looking to score these points before the end of the 6th round. Another brief note, I will note that this is the deluxe version. So these upgraded pieces and stuff. But the regular version is just fine too, but the deluxe version is really nice. Also comes with 3 mini expansions that you can dive into in this game here too. So not only do you have 10 missions, but you also have 3 mini expansions that come with the deluxe version, and which most companies don't do. This company is nice enough to do. Shows you how to put stuff in the insert that it came in, which is amazing, and I wish more people would do this instead of having to guess how things go in and such. So I really do appreciate this. But yeah, so let's get back onto the game. So the game again is going to go over 6 rounds, and each of the rounds are going to go in turn order until you have finished placing all your discs, and then a new round will start. You're going to have, at the end of the game, recruited 7 specialists. So you'll know when the game ends when you hit your 7th specialist. The reason there's 7 specialists is because you actually start with 1. So how are we going to do this? Well, you're going to go through a couple different phases. First is going to be, you're going to determine who's going to be the first player. However you want to, you'll pick who's the first player. And then that token is going to move at the end of each round clockwise. However, to start each round, we're going to do the first part. It's going to be the recruitment phase. So you're going to take a look at your reputation track here. And your reputation track is going to tell you what level of specialist you're allowed to recruit. Now, you're going to be able to tell, because it comes with this really cool tray, even in the non-deluxe version, I believe, you're going to tell what level they are by the dots here. So you're going to be able to start out by getting a level 1 specialist, but then later on you get 2, 3, 4, and then 5, which is going to be the legendary people. So you will start off by recruiting one of these. So in turn order, I'll pick one of these recruits. And there are going to be enough level 1 recruits for everyone. That's not true for the level 2, level 3, and level 4 and level 5 ones. Those ones will dwindle down, and for the level 5, you'll randomly place these when you start the game here. These ones are all different, so the legendary ones. They're all awesome though, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. But based on what your strategy is for the game, there probably will be a particular one that you'll be aiming for. So everyone's going to get their specialist. So I'll say I'll take this specialist. All right. Couple things with this. Anytime you see anything in the left-hand corner, these are going to be immediate benefits that you're going to get in the game. And that counts for everything. So like when we placed out our submarines at the beginning of the game, we also got the benefit in here. And this icon right here means you get an extra token, which we placed in our pile here. This is going to be how many actions you're going to be able to take per turn. So they're very, very important. So there is a good bit of different icons in the game, but they're very, there's probably only like a dozen or so. So once you've learned them, they don't really change up much per tile as you dive down into the ocean. So you're going to generally be, once you get into learning these icons, you're going to be jumping into the game really, really quickly. All right, so let's start off with what icon we just gained was. So this is the icon we just gained. Now, a lot of these icons are going to just directly relate to a track. So you'll notice that it matches this symbol that's on this deluxe token right here. It's also shown on the board. So this means that we get to move this up this track. And we'll get into what this guy does in a minute, but all these tracks will let you do more things better for what they do. So this first track where we're recruiting people, as time goes by and this moves up, we're going to be able to recruit people of different levels. In addition to that, we're going to get to this symbol in a little bit. This one lets us put on the impact board, which I'll show you in a little bit here. And when we get all the way to the end, it'll circle back and let us put on the impact board again. But we'll always have that 10 points. So maxing out these tracks is a big benefit that you may want to look into. So our first one, we get to move this up this track, which we'll get to that track in a second. And we recruited our new specialist, which is a person we can now place a token on. So what do we do next? Well, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our effort track, which is right here. And this is going to tell us how many tokens we're going to gain. So in this case, we're in the first level, so we're going to only gain 1 token, and we'll place that in here. Now, you want to keep these separate. In the deluxe version, it comes with these trays you can store them in, but you can get whatever you want to store them in, or just keep them off to the side so you don't mix them in with the actual action tokens you can take for the turn. The next is going to be reassignment. So the reassignment here is going to tell us how many of these tokens we can take off of our specialists. You can't take them off the board once they got there, or other cards or whatever, but you can take them off your specialist. In this case, we'll be able to take this one off the specialist. So now we have 3 action tokens that we're going to be able to take on our turn. So that's going to be the first 3 things that we need to go into. The next one is going to be the activation phase. And there are several different things we can do on an activation phase. Your team leader has all of those things available to it. When you recruit other ones, they just have a couple, or some of them double up. So where this one has slashes, this means you have to pick one of them. This one, you can only do the sonar action. Some of them will let you do the actions twice. So this one here lets you do it twice, or gain it twice. Sorry, that one's gain twice. Let's show you. Some of them let you do them twice. They also show you what the upgraded side is going to be on this. So this one here, you can take a move, or whoops, it's not focusing, or the sonar action if you upgrade it to this side. But either way, you're going to need to place out your action discs. And you're going to do one thing per turn until everyone runs out of action discs, and then we're going to then move off to the next round. So what are the different things you can do? Well, the first thing you can do is you can move. So I can put a disc on here, and then I can move my submarine. What's really important about your submarines? Your submarines are going to determine if you can take actions on a tile. Now, when you're moving, you can just move to whatever tile you want on here, with the exception is depth. So this guy right here is going to tell you how deep you can go. So you'll notice the surface is at 0, at the 1 here. So you can hit with 1 of this gear icon, you can go down anywhere on the surface. If you have 2 gears, you can go to this next level, 3, 4, and then 5 to the abyssal zone. So this will tell you where it can go. So maybe I want to do my sonar action, so I'll move over here. Well, when you move over there, you immediately gain the bonus for arriving there. And that included when you put yours down at the beginning of the game, or if you recruit any more of these, you'll be able to get that too. And that, in this case, you can look at it. It has a little piece of a puzzle. You notice this has a little piece of puzzle. So this will go up 1 level. That's great. This gives me the opportunity to use those areas now. So what's another action that I can take? Well, I can use the sonar action. So the sonar action I can take, I'll need to have 2 discs for it. Some actions take 2 discs. In this case, I'll place a disc, and I'll be able to place a disc over here. In this case, I'll be able to explore a new zone here. And this is going to let me, let's say I can go here. It lets me draw 2 tiles and pick 1. So I'm not only just looking for what I can do in these things, but I'm also looking at the bonus for going there. So these are the bonuses that I'm going to get for going there. So I'll get 2 more tokens. I'll go up and I'll get this bonus here too. So you could get all these bonuses when you place this down. So this is the right, what you'll get for that. And you have to place this underneath one. Now there can be gaps. Let's say if I had a surface one over here, I can place one underneath here, and that'd be fine. It doesn't matter if there's a gap here. But I can't place it out in nowhere land. I have to be able to place it out on the board underneath something legitimately. And that'll be that for the sonar action. So that's how the sonar action works. I'll take the one that I didn't pick and I'll place it on the bottom. And I got the bonus for placing the tile out. So the next thing you can do is dive. So what do you do when you dive? All right, so we go to the dive action here. So the dive action here, we're going to be able to place a token on here. And if our ship is in an area with dive tokens here, we'll pick up one. Now these, a lot of times, well, this one only had one, but a lot of times they'll have options. Like this will have gain a disc or get 3 research. And there's 2 different ways I can activate this token, and I can only have one at a time, and it goes right here on your board. Is with another action, I can gain these, or I could take it as my action for the turn. So it won't count as passing, ending my turn for the round. So this one here will give me 4 research, or if I would have gotten this one, it would have given me 3 research, or the dive advancement on there. So, or dive action, which is cool. So what I could do with that. So research here is going to be your currency for the game. So research is really important to move up this track. You have a maximum of 12. If you get any more research than 12, you lose it. And that's you're going to see that on a couple other actions that you could take where you can spend this. And the next one is going to be conserve, and that's one where you can spend this. So conserve, I would have to put a token on here, and then I need to have a second token. So this is the second action that I showed you that requires 2 tokens. And then if my ship is over here, I can put it on the conservation board. Now, there's multiple different places I can place this token. I don't have to go in order like all the other tracks. I can pick any of them. I just need to be able to pay to get there. So like this one costs 0 research. This one costs 4 research. This one costs 1. Now, why would I want to jump into this and be able to get these bonuses on here? Well, it may not seem worth it to pay 4 to get both these bonuses and place one on the impact track, but there's other bonuses you'll get. So let's do that first. So the first thing, we're going to go ahead and place this on here. So what does that let me do? Well, the first thing you saw in here is this little speaky sign, and that means advance on my journal track. So I'll be able to move that forward so that I'll be able to recruit more specialized specialists in the future if I can get to this next section. So that's good. The other thing here is going to be the impact track. So I've paid, let's say I gained my 4 from that token and then I paid it. I then can put on the impact track. And the impact track over here, you're going to have to place your tokens adjacent to one of these arrows or adjacent to one of the tokens already on the board. Now, these tokens will give you multiple different benefits in here. As you can see repetitively here, that increasing on tracks are just shown on here. So I can increase on the tracks. I can get another action token. I can get some research, which is the currency in the game. And I can just get endgame scoring over here. So that's the impact track. You take one of your hexagonal pieces, you place it down, you get the reward. But there's more. If another player or myself places a token adjacent to this, and there's a link, I'll show you here, you also will get this bonus in between it. Now, you only get it once. Doesn't matter if you're in both areas. Each player only gets it once. So if I go in here and an opponent goes here, we'll both get extra token. If I'm in both, I just get an extra token. But that's the other bonus to going in here. Plus, it's an endgame goal for this one, so it's pretty darn important. The other thing you could do is you could take a journal action. Journal action is another one that's going to take 2 tokens. So let's say I could go down here. I can go here to take a journal action. So I place a token on my leader, and then I can place a token out here, and I can do a journal action. All right, so what's a journal action? Well, we're going to take a look at this, and we're going to pick one of these. A lot of them have a cost here, so it's going to be how much it costs. And some of them have 2 different things here. So this one's 0. However, this one lets me promote a specialist, which is really, really good. And everyone else gets to go up this on the track here, which is going to be this bottom run here. So, and also I'll get a point at the end of the game for having this. So if I pick this, I'll put it in my area. You're going to hold on to it until the end of the game here, even if the actions are already spent. So in this case, I'll be able to upgrade this specialist, and now I can do move or the sonar action and immediately replace that card. Now, some of them also have these places where you can put your action tokens and get the reward down here. You will not be able to return your token from there. So remember that. Also, when you're placing these tokens out on the board, you're not going to be able to get those back either. They're gone. So you're going to be constantly trying to pull in these tokens to give yourself more actions each round. And that is the gist of how to play the game. That's the different actions you could take. That's what you're going to do in this game. You're going to continue this on until you get to the 6th round, and the person with the most points is going to win. Let's go ahead, back up the table here, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on Endeavor Deep Sea. All right, so that was Endeavor Deep Sea. Now, component quality for the deluxe version is amazing. This is just a great component quality. They knocked it right out of the park. Exactly what I'm looking for. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's perfect. And the insert for the deluxe version, which I think is just in the deluxe version, is also equally great. I love the trays where they slide out and you have everything lined up. Really good. Cardboard component thickness is great. And the art on the game is phenomenal. Gameplay for this is going to ramp up as you play. You're going to get more actions to do. You're going to get more things to do as the game goes by. So you're going to have more and more things that you can do. And in addition to that, with the 10 missions, gives a ton of replayability. And also, like I mentioned in the deluxe version, you also have like 3 expansions, I believe, that you can add into the game there too. Mini expansions to change it up for you. So replayability on this game is amazing. This game is a little cutthroat. You have to really be able to move around on your strategies. There's a lot of things to do, and you're never really left high and dry. There's always something you do, and there's always a lot of amazing things you can do. But you do need to be able to pivot in this game, and you are looking to progress with specialists to be able to get your different goals and move how you want. So there's a lot of things to be thinking about this. And one thing I didn't mention when I was talking about it is the bottom track on there actually will get you to be able to release your other boats. You could have up to 3 ships out on the board. So you're going to probably want to get those out sooner than later, because those ships determine what actions you can take. Because the ship has to be in the area for you to be able to take the actions. And having more ships out gives you more options on your turns to place your discs out. So there's so many things to balance and mechanisms in this game, and that's where I get into the iconography. They did a really great job with the iconography. Once you learn it, you are off to the races. You can handle any tile down on there. Now there is a sheet that the game comes with to explain those tiles, some of the more advanced ones. So even if you get a little confused on them, there are still explanations for them in the book, which I do also really appreciate. Overall, I think this is a game that's going in my collection, which a lot of games don't make it into my collection. This game is really fun and a really good game. Very solid. And as you see, it's pretty darn easy to teach. You can jump into this game that seems like it's going to be a heavy game very quickly, and it's very intuitive. And that's not something that's easily come by. It seems like it's something that, you know, you just jump into and do, but they took a lot of work into making sure that's the feel that you get, that you could take this game that has so many different options and so many different things and easily teach it and easily understand it is an accomplishment on itself. If you like what you saw in the gameplay, then you're going to love this game. So this would be a game for you. If you like worker placement games, this is a game that you're going to probably like. If you like this theme, I'd also suggest checking this game out. Overall, I think a really great game, and a game that you can get a lot of fun out of. So I highly recommend Endeavor Deep Sea. I think they did a really great job, and that's my thoughts on it. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. It helps us get more equipment, helps us bring out more content and all that good stuff. But either way, I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for watching.